Okay, now as we like to do, we are coming home to the North American CONCACAF region to talk a little U.S. men's national team. And guys, we will admit, Roy and I, that we had a video very recently for you U.S. men's national team fans out there where we criticized Christian Pulisic a little bit. I would like to officially offer an apology, Roy. I don't know if you feel the same way, but this guy has had some kind of week. Now, of course, scoring in the Milan Derby, scoring in the Champions League, and previously putting in a penalty the previous weekend for Milan. Captain America is on fire.
He's firing up, my friend. He is firing up. Do we owe him an apology? I mean, what did we say exactly? I am recalling what I said, and I don't think I take any of it back. I said he's having a fantastic season.
Okay.
Last season, he had 60% of the season was great. I would say 50% when he came back from Nations League. He went downhill and never really came back. And those things are accurate. And then he has a phenomenal game against Inter, and he has that great goal against Liverpool. Nothing, I mean, my opinion stays the same, Sahil.
But let's talk about this. Okay, we got to talk about this. All right. So
yeah,
this is incredible. Like this week, if you were to take it in just take this week in a nutshell for any player of that, this is incredible to score. Obviously, it was a penalty, but regardless of penalty, but the 2 goals he scored in the Champions League, and then what a GOLAZO against Inter. Like, what in the world? Like, takes on 2 players, and then the finish. My goodness.
Yeah, phenomenal. And it was a blessing because this derby has been getting stale.
Yeah,
it's been 6-7 consecutive, I think 6, because 7 would have broke a record. But 6 consecutive victories for Inter over Milan. They needed 1 more to go into the record books, and it would have given a record to the coach. And that's just embarrassing for a rivalry of that caliber to be so one-sided. Yeah. And who broke that? The American, my friends.
Yes.
Mr. Captain America.
He started the tide, and of course, Gabia finished it off at the end. But that way, Christian Pulisic got it right off the bat. Gets it done.
It was one of the best goals I've seen him score. And it was very Messi-esque, the way he maneuvered around the defenders, the way he stayed on his feet, even though there were defenders pushing up against him, even though he was slightly off balance. The fact that he remained on his feet, was able to speed up and burn the defenders on him, and then slot it in. It was a magical goal. It was a piece of art. And the performance was absolutely world-class from the man. But there's something I have an issue with. The goal was what? It was confident.
Yes.
It was a goal scored by someone who is showing incredible levels of confidence right now. Yes. It was direct.
Yes.
He went straight for goal. He was not distracted. No BS. Went straight there, and within seconds, he covered, 35, 40 yards and slotted it in.
Yep.
And it was composed. But these are 3 things: confidence, directness, and composure, that Pulisic has not consistently had over the past 6 years. We've seen it in sprinkles.
Yes.
But we saw it last weekend.
But do you think this is the changing tide? Because this felt different. For me, this feels different. This season feels different. Did you see the amount of passion he had after that goal?
Oh, God.
He was ready to rip he was ready to rip the earth up, man.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a little jaded with Christian. He's shown moments like these with Chelsea. He's shown moments like these with Dortmund. He's showed tremendous moments like these with Milan last season, but it never really reaches the level that we want it to reach. It never reaches that world-class level. Right now, I agree with you. Something feels a little bit different. Something feels like, oh my God, that's another phenomenal performance. Oh, geez, Liverpool. Oh my goodness, Inter Milan. Like, he's killing it in big games. And we know Christian is a big game man.
Yeah.
But can he keep it for the rest of the season? Can he transfer it over to a team that does not have their S together right now, which is the US? Can he perform in that same way? Because he hasn't. In Copa America, he did not.
Yeah.
He wasn't there. Copa America, he was a Christian Pulisic that I hate watching.
Well, he had that goal. He had the golazo. Don't forget about the golazo.
He had a golazo, but it's a moment. Yeah. He had a moment.
He did, yes. But okay, but use the word world class, because I would say if you look at this week, and let's say you had no idea the history of Christian Pulisic, you had no idea the history of the player. You look at this, if you look at this week alone, you'll be like, dude, this is a world class player.
Yep. If I brought a friend to watch that game with me, who has seen a few games, knows soccer, but doesn't know any of the players, and he watched that game, he would say, who is this guy? He has to be one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
The way he played, the way he scored that goal. No, nobody scores goals like that unless they're incredible soccer players.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. This is how I would encapsulate Christian Pulisic. His ceiling is almost as high as players like Mbappe. Not quite there, but he can be in that conversation when he is playing at his best. He could be in the same conversations as the world's best players. Throw him in the conversation with Lamine Yamal. Throw him in the conversation with Mbappe. Haaland's a bit of a machine. He's different right now, but have that conversation, include Christian's name in that conversation, and he fits when he's at his top. When he's at his top is very infrequent. It's less than 5% of games. We're seeing it a little more now, but the problem is his floor is very low.
Yeah.
So the difference between his worst performances, which are fairly frequent for national team over the past 6 years for his clubs, it's very, very low. Yeah. And then you have this extreme high. I wish he would keep that. I mean, obviously, best case scenario, he keeps the high, but he lifts the low. Yeah. He lifts that bottom where his average performance is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, of course, you make a fair point, because otherwise he would be in terms of like the overall value of a player. He'd be as much as Mbappe and Lamine Yamal and all those players, right? Like in terms of the total value and the value you can tell, like based on these, it's the inconsistency of the performances. All I'm saying is, and the reason at the beginning I preface this by saying maybe we were wrong in our last assessment, and not wrong. I guess wrong is not the right word.
Wrong about what?
I just feel like this season it feels a little bit different, and it feels like I'm wondering, is this what did it take all the nonsense that happened to the US men's national team over the course of the last, I don't know, few months? Is this igniting some kind of fire under Christian Pulisic? That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm thinking. And if that's the case, this is going to be a whole different animal that all the other teams are going to have to deal with. If that is the case, do you feel that is the case, or do you not feel that is the case? That's what I want to get from you, Mr. Rosito.
Yeah. I do feel that. I do feel he's more disappointed than he's let on about the Copa America. It's impacted him in a way that is positive for once. It seems like it's lit this fire under him saying, hey, I'm in my mid-20s now. I'm failing with the national team. My national team is failing.
Yeah.
This is my chance to do something. This is my chance to rise up, to be a killer, an absolute killer, and to stop doing this, type B, nervous, behind the scenes, he needs to come out of his shell and do what he did when he scored that goal against Inter. He sprinted towards the Inter fans. He did his celebration, and that had me fired up. That had every U.S. fan who watched that game fired up. That had every Milan fan fired up. And we need to see that every time. We need that attitude. And it's not just him. I mean, look at McKennie. Yeah. McKennie's killing it. Look at Brendan Harrison at Leeds. Chris Richards had a great game against Manchester United. So a lot of these players are picking it up.
Yeah.
With the new coach coming up, the only one is Gio Reyna. Where the hell is Gio Reyna? He's still in.
Let's not talk about that. Yeah. But look, yes, I think that is what for U.S. men's national team fans, and it's nice to be able to talk about the U.S. men's national team and get excited a little bit. We've covered a lot of other teams out there which are on the upswing, and we'd like this team to get back on the upswing because at the end of the day, we are American. So it's unfortunate that our home team is in such the doldrums right now. But I think this is an exciting thing. And the other point I want to make is, like you said, he is at that point in his career where he realizes there's a home World Cup coming up. You got the new coach, arguably the best non-club manager, best non-club manager in the world currently. And it's coming together, and he's now seeing, look, if I'm the best player on this team, if I'm the really Captain America, I need to show it week in, week out. And that's hopefully what's happening here.
Yeah, I hope so. And speaking of best player, I would say Pulisic is the best player on Milan right now.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Rafael Leao.
100%.
Which is crazy to say, because looking at Milan over the last 2 seasons, imagine me telling you 2 seasons ago, Pulisic is going to be better than Rafael Leao for Milan. That's crazy.
I would have thought you would have lost your mind, man. That's what I would have thought you.
Well, we were talking about Leao as being one of the best players in the world a season and a half ago.
Yeah.
Even last season. And now Christian is better than him.
Yeah.
So, that conversation, if he keeps this up, the conversation about Christian is going to start to shift. He's going to be seen very differently from how he's seen now, which is inconsistent, unreliable, rarely available, always injured. This is how people have seen him over the past 7 years. We're going to switch that up if he keeps this up to passionate, bold, world-class, magical, because that goal was freaking magical. I don't like throwing that word around, but that goal was magic, man. It was absolutely incredible. A beast.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal beast. And I hope we start talking about him in this way and stop talking about him in this way. Right now, I've been on this hand forever.
Yeah.
Because it's just been the reality with Chelsea, every other team. But I want to inch here, and I'm right in the middle right now. Hope to continue to shift in this direction.